Hey, welcome back to the Alphacast. It's only been a year since we've done this.
What's the Alphacast?
It's this thing we do called the Alphacast, and we're doing it right now.
This is the reboot.
We're rebooting the Alphacast. So, loyal listeners, which there are very few of when it comes to the Alphacast, but for the ones that are there, I love you. We used to do the book club, which, we'd watch a movie or do something and we talk about that. Well, guess what?
That was a failure.
Yeah, well, not because it was a failure.
We just can't commit to it.
Exactly. It's too hard to do videos where we're watching movies or reading stuff and then also do a podcast where we're watching something or reading something, whatever. So now podcast, Alphacast, really just going to be like...
Yeah, I mean, when there's a movie or a book or something that we want to talk about specifically, you guys see that anyway, because we end up doing, something like we did for the Session 9 video, or we do a We Need to Talk like we did with the Tribe, or we do a Stash Cast with the Kurt Russell Westerns, things like that. So that stuff is going to get like its own... that stuff gets the spotlight when it needs to, but this is essentially just
This is the minor stuff, the smaller stuff in between that we can't really dedicate a whole thing to, and a chance for us to joke around and talk, and you guys can listen in on the conversation. If you guys want to write in with questions we can read on the podcast, or, comments or something you want to say that we might want to read out, go ahead and throw an email over to alphacast@alpharookie.com. Getting some use out of that domain.
Say it one more time.
alphacast@alpharookie.com. That's
Link in
a website.
the description.
Huh?
Link in the description.
Yeah, there'll be a link in the description if you're on YouTube. If you're on a phone listening to the podcast, then you need to manually type that in.
Yeah. So this is more if you really give a shit what we think about just kind of week to week stuff, plus just getting to know us and us talking to each other, and
if you like us.
Yeah.
Which, cool. If you do, awesome.
So there's not really too much of a format here.
Nope. So we'll just start off with we just got done filming a bit. I don't even know what to call it.
Introduction.
I mean, we're doing
intro video.
A video. Which way? What are you talking about?
Twin Peaks.
Oh yeah. Okay. It's not an intro video. It's a video.
Well, it's not. It's the introductory part to your Twin Peaks project.
Yeah. Oh, actually, no. We'll start the top of the hour. We're gonna give you what's coming up with Alpha Rookie. So we just shot a Twin Peaks thing we're doing because Twin Peaks is being not rebooted, but
it's coming.
It's coming back next year, early next year. It was supposed to be early next year. So I decided I wanted to throw a big summary out there for anyone who hasn't seen Twin Peaks, or even if you have, I think it'd be pretty funny what we do with it.
Yeah. Those of you that watch the videos, you might have caught those little fun, cute little jokes that we do, like it's one big conspiracy.
Yeah.
With David Bowie and David Lynch and that whole kind of thing.
Which, if you've never watched Twin Peaks, you won't get it.
Like,
but if you have, you probably get where we're coming from.
So we're fans.
Yeah. So we're doing a little bit of Twin Peaks summary, getting you ready for the new series coming up next year. We are in the process right now of doing a comics crossover video, the one everyone's been waiting for, Alien versus Predator.
Yeah. And
Predator versus Batman. And Superman versus Alien.
And also, Predator versus Terminator versus...
Judge Dredd?
Yeah.
RoboCop?
God, there's a lot. Batman and Superman versus Alien and Predator.
Vampirella versus Alien.
Predator versus Tarzan.
Archie versus Predator.
Archie versus Predator, which is actually a good one. And the list goes on and on. Wildcats. Do you even know what the fucking Wildcats are?
No.
Okay, that's actually a good one. I'm going to talk about that one at length. Ooh, wait. Witchblade, Darkness, Aliens, Predator. And then the subtitle for it is, I think, Overkill. So they kind of were self-aware about that one.
Yeah. And I just actually read Batman versus Predator today.
Yeah.
And, we're going to be doing the AVP video next week, and we're going to record that.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
That'll sort of be just, there's a lot of that stuff. So what stuff's the best? What stuff's worth reading?
What stuff's not worth reading?
What stuff's interesting? Yeah. What stuff's really bad?
It's like, stay away from this.
Yeah.
We're also going to... Oh, the third Tim Lebbins... With Tim Lebbins' number 3, it's Alien vs. Predator Armageddon.
Okay.
That novel should be coming out on Tuesday.
A whole bunch of AVP goodness for you.
Yeah, so it's been a while.
So quit bitching.
Yeah. We took a break. We're going to give you a shitload of Alien and Predator stuff, and then...
we're going to have a shitload of Alien Predator stuff on this one, judging from the questions that we got in from the podcast this time.
Really. Yeah, send us questions. Give us something to talk about. And even if
literally anything.
Yeah, if you just want to say that we're idiots, that's cool.
That's fine too.
If you want to give us a what if, I have good what ifs, but I can't do them on air because they're kind of vulgar. You remember that old one we used to do?
Oh yeah.
The 2 and 3?
Oh yeah.
What else? Halloween's coming up, October. We are going to we were going to watch all the Saw movies and do a horror podcast on the Saw series. We might switch that out with a Return of the Living Dead series.
Yeah, we both just recently watched Return of the Living Dead. I bought the Scream
For the
Factory.
millionth time.
I hadn't seen it in a while. I got the Scream Factory Blu-ray. That's a great Blu-ray, by the way.
It's very good.
They put a ton of new special features on there. The movie looks great.
There's a 2-hour documentary that goes on there that's actually on, if you go to Netflix, it's listed as its own thing, but it's also in this Blu-ray compilation.
Yeah.
It's fucking good. It's 2 hours long, and it's really about the making of that movie with all the actors and producers now. Or when I say now, I mean, I think 2010 was when they did it. So it's like they're talking back about what happened and things like that. It's really well made.
Yeah, I've been really impressed with Scream Factory. That Session 9 disc, which is also, we did Session 9 because Session 9 came out on Blu-ray from Scream Factory as well. And that one had all the special features I remembered from the really old DVD release, but then they also did brand new high-def special features to that too that were really cool.
I haven't had a chance to watch those yet.
Good on Scream Factory. They've been doing. I've been really happy with everything that I've gotten from them so far.
I like the horror hallowed ground. What is it called?
Oh, Horror's Hallowed Grounds.
Yeah, like I watched the Here's What It Is Now, like the tombstones and stuff like that.
That guy's pretty cool. He goes to.
Oh my god, the intro is way too fucking long though.
I don't know if it was.
I don't.
Yeah.
It was a minute and a half before the video started.
Yeah.
He gave a little short intro and then played an intro, like he talked and then they played like I would say what you would call a TV show's like the theme song.
Yeah.
It was like 60 seconds long.
Yeah.
I was like, is this the video? No, this is just hey, here's us, you know?
Yeah.
Other than that, though, it was really good. God, what else have we? So we're probably going to watch the Saw movies, do a podcast on that. We might, if we can squeeze in, we might do the Return of the Living Dead because if you didn't realize, there are 6 Return of the Living Dead movies. We're not talking Night of the Living Dead. We're talking Return of the Living Dead and Return of the Living Dead Part 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Oh, sorry, there's only 5.
But these seem hard to track down, hard to get into format that we can watch
Yeah, if
easily.
I actually wanted to buy them, they're kind of expensive, and no. There's actually a Blu-ray of Return of the Living Dead Part 3 coming out in November, but it's like $30.
Yeah.
So.
And Resident Evil at some point?
Yeah. Just to pique your guys'
the new movie? I guess after the new movie comes out.
Oh, you mean for January?
Yeah.
No, okay. So also to maybe pique your guys' interest, I don't know if you care. Let us know if this is something you're interested in. We were gonna possibly just stream a playthrough of Resident Evil 2 because I've been kind of dying to play that game again because I played it a stupid amount when I was younger, and I don't even know when we were playing it that one time. But
well, my memory of it is that I played it and you literally backseat drove the game. So you said, turn left here, go back there. Nope, check behind that box. There's a thing there. And
I hadn't played it in years at that point.
Right.
So we kind of want to see if it's funny if it's probably been 10 years since I played it, if I can still just go through and speedrun that game.
Yeah.
Like right off the bat without even, consulting a FAQ or playing through it once, just kind of like go blind and wonder, how much do I still know? I
kind of recall actually while I was playing, something happened where the character shoots and then it creates like a bullet hole on the screen. And I remember you getting really excited. You went, that's like the one thing that I never actually did in the game.
It's actually when you go down to like almost a sewer area and I know I know exactly where it is, but it's hard to do.
Yeah.
You did it by accident, right?
Yeah, I didn't mean to do it.
You were pointing it back. I remember that. So yeah, we're not gonna do a live stream. It seems like it's too complicated. We don't know if anyone really even cares at this point, but we are gonna do we're gonna play through the game, record it, probably put ourselves on camera with us mic'd up, talking, giving commentary, joking, laughing during the time, and we'll figure out what the format's going to be. But we're going to play through RE2 hopefully sometime this month for Halloween, I guess.
Yeah.
But I want to. And Silent Hills, the games are too long. But I know you've been wanting to play Silent Hill 2 again.
I've just been wanting to play it in general, but I don't know. That's a lot of. I don't want to turn into the video game streaming channel. Yeah, we don't really want to Twitch stream. We'd rather just kind of record it and then go. But hey, if you guys like it or you guys are really interested in that and we do it, then hey, we wouldn't mind having live questions while we're doing the recording. It'd be kind of cool. So we'll see where that goes. Anything else we're going to be working on? I don't know how into the future I need to go.
Okay.
That's probably fine.
Good enough for now. Yeah.
Kyle turned off the mic so he could blow his nose, but then he turned it back on because he thought it was funny how grossed out I am that he's blowing his nose and it's just a bunch of bloody, gross mucus. I think he's going to die. I think he's like Return to the Living Dead style. He's probably going to, like, rigor mortis is going to set in and he's going to start wanting to eat. I mean, I don't know.
We have an air conditioner on in this room and maybe it's just really dry in here. I don't know. Then again, no, the humidifier part's out there, so whatever.
There's like 30 little blood splotches on this tissue. He moves over like a couple of inches and finds a new like white area on the Kleenex.
I think you were describing everything in detail on him. By the way, I'm Kyle and he's Ryan. We probably should have said that 10 minutes ago, but whatever.
And now you know what we look like.
Oh yeah. We're just doing camera stuff. So what do you want to talk about?
Why don't we start? Why don't we do it like what have you been watching?
So
what
the first thing I want to talk about,
playing?
I watched Ash vs. Evil Dead. If you
Okay.
follow us on Twitter, alpha_rookie, Instagram alpha_rookie, you'll know I said I mentioned watching the first episode and it's fucking great. It's groovy. I watched the rest of that series. And my God, that has to be the best television show I've ever seen in my life. I mean, it's not like
It can't be better than Stranger Things.
haven't watched that yet. But
I like Stranger Things.
I can't believe that after this many years, they were actually able to capture the glory that is Evil Dead. Like, a lot of things try to get rebooted. A lot of things try to, come back and make a TV show version of it. And you never quite get... Joe Dirt 2 is a good example. I really like Joe Dirt. That movie's stupid and funny. I really enjoy it. Joe Dirt 2 got terrible reviews, and it was on Comedy Central the other day, and I watched it for about 10 minutes and was like, wow, this is fucking bad. How do the people who made the original movie totally just miss the tone and the humor of the first movie when they're making it again? Like, how do you do that? You're the one who did it, right? That happens a lot. So big ups to Sam Raimi, Bruce Campbell, Robert Talbert.
Got me.
Rod Talbert, the producer. They did a fan-fucking-tastic job. Great casting, great effects, great gore. If you haven't watched Ash vs. Evil Dead, go out and get it. It is the greatest thing.
Well, I'm excited to watch it. I did see the first episode and I really liked it, but I don't have stars, so
It's on Blu-ray now.
I am looking forward to watching it.
Amazon.
I was telling you earlier. I'm glad that because it seems like critically, people are in line with you. It seems to have been received really well. So with that, with like Stranger Things,
I'll just say there's a part where he puts the boomstick inside a child demon's mouth, picks him up in the air, pulls the trigger, and the entire body blows apart, and the head's still on the end of the shotgun.
yeah, that's pretty good.
It's fucking good.
And then what does he say?
I don't remember.
Probably something good though.
Yeah, the humor. I want to go watch it again. I'm going to watch it again. It's really good. Actually, I want to bring up a piece of news we're talking about. See what you think, because this is actually a hot take, I guess. So, Dark Tower, the movie.
I'm not racist.
So, high hopes for Dark Tower for many years, but to me, to you as well, I think it's going to look like shit. I think everything about what I've heard makes me think it's going to be garbage. But the new news is that they're going to do the TV show. They talked about, doing the...
Right, they've always talked about doing it, but for whatever reason now they're like, did they just actually secure the funding or what? Like,
I have no idea because they don't have a...
because they've always talked about doing it. That was always the plan.
But then
so
they
what is the news?
But remember they stopped and we're just doing a movie right now because they couldn't. They don't have a partner.
So again, they must have signed some.
Netflix doesn't say yes. Nobody has.
They don't have an actual. I don't get it then.
They made an outline. I
Maybe
think.
it's the difference between like production and they might have. So in other words, they might have the money for the production, but not necessarily the money or not necessarily a distributor.
Yes.
So okay, well.
So the news is the TV show would cover Wizard and Glass,
right?
Which is the prequel, the fourth book in the series, which takes place when Roland is younger and meets Susanna. No,
Susan.
Susan. Man, it's been a long time since I read it.
And the big coffin hunters.
Yeah, I don't know what they're thinking
By doing it as a TV show?
No, so when they had the original idea of doing the movie and then filling in the gaps with the TV show and then doing the movie again because it's a lot, it made sense. Now you're making it even more confusing because you're making a TV show with certain actors and then you're going to go do one where they're young actors of them. You
don't think they should do Wizard of Glass at all?
Not for a while. I mean, it's the fourth book in the series. There's a reason you have to get warmed up to the characters. You have to know who they are, love who they are before you do a prequel story of those characters. You can't immediately just do the second thing being a prequel.
It's impossible for me to talk about this stuff because it's impossible to talk about what they're doing as Dark Tower fans perceive it.
Right.
Because you spoil the shit out of the ending of the books. There's no way to talk about it. There's no way for you and I to have that conversation.
You mean we don't want to say anything out loud?
I don't want to spoil the shit out of the Dark Tower series for somebody that may not have read it. But that's what I want to say to you. That's the conversation I want to have with you.
You're talking about the loop.
You should just not even say anything.
That doesn't mean anything to anybody that doesn't know. You're talking about the loop, That's what the comics were supposed to be. The comics were supposed to be... I don't really know because the comics thought that, and then the comics were just retelling the story of the books, but they were filling in gaps, but then they were just doing the same thing. I don't know. I didn't know if it was going to be any different or what.
No, the comics were doing they're doing all the flashback stuff.
But what you're talking about doesn't even matter because it's not that they're...
I'm saying everything could be completely different.
But what we've heard is they're taking bits and pieces from throughout the series and mashing them together.
I think we should stop talking about this.
But that wouldn't matter. The ending that you're talking about doesn't matter. It has anything to do with that.
It does because it's the difference between adhering to something that you have to do it this way as opposed to I have no idea what they're doing.
I guess you're right. We don't know what they're doing, but we've heard that they're just taking... Granted, you're not going to shoot every scene and shoot everything, but not only are they making it shorter, they're like taking stuff out of order and smashing it all together.
I know, but again, I can't. You know what I mean? Like it could be anything. By the way, since I want to move on from this, but only because I like talking about this stuff, but I just feel like it's impossible to talk about without spoiling things. One of the videos that I consider doing, because I like to do the licensed comics or comics that are actually based on like something else. Just people out there, would anybody care about like a Dark Tower video? Like, because there's a lot of those comics now, and that would be something fun for me. That'd be fun to cover.
I mean, I still have the first 6 volumes.
I have 2 omnibuses worth of stuff. I haven't even read the second omnibus worth of stuff. I mean, there's a ton of shit. It's been going now for a long time.
But isn't it just covering what's in the book?
No. Well, not.
So you see, the first couple of volumes, the one when I was reading it, they were wholly new.
Technically,
well, not wholly new, but it was definitely not. And then by the time I got to like volume 5, it was the retelling of like Jake.
The first book is just the retelling of Wizard and Glass. The first book.
Not quite.
It totally is.
It is with additional.
Not really. It's pretty much just the adaptation of Wizard and Glass.
I guess it's
it shows you how he gets his guns. And then it's Wizard and Glass.
You're right. The second is them getting.
The second one is like, that's all new stuff. After that, everything else is, I mean, it might be made mention of, but it's being all fleshed out. It's basically brand new stuff. But even that stuff they eventually ran out of, and then now they're just adapting the books.
That's what I'm saying. Which
at this point,
why?
I don't know.
Do I care?
It might be cool to kind of like see it visually.
I think the Stand comics were like that. It was just like, they're just telling the book. I'm like, why do I care? I already read the book. If you're going to redo something different or change it up, whatever. I don't want to see the same thing twice.
Yeah,
I guess it'd be cool to see a illustrated version of the book.
Right.
But I already know what's happening. I already know what's going to happen. Whatever.
I will say this. And this isn't too old. Like, I finally read Wind Through the Keyhole this summer too.
Finally.
Yeah, it's really good. So
did you get the big hardcover one when it first came out?
Yeah, I've had it that long.
Yeah, I bought it when it.
Yeah. So those of you that don't know anything about Dark Tower, you're probably bored to death by this. You should go read those books. They're fucking fantastic. It's my favorite book series.
Get back to us in a year.
Get back to us in a year when you're done reading them. Those of you that have read Dark Tower, but you didn't get around to the new novel that Stephen King made in the Dark Tower universe, Went Through the Keyhole, which came out a few years ago.
I don't
probably
remember.
Like 5 or 6 years ago.
I could look it up, but I'm too lazy.
That book's fantastic. So if you haven't read a Dark Tower book in a while, I liked it a lot.
It's good. The caveat that it's a story inside of a story inside of a story.
What you just
Inception.
did. It's like 3 times.
But it's also nothing new.
No, it's not. Well,
because you think like Dark Tower ends at Dark Tower.
Yeah, I guess
7.
not really.
This is more like, hey, this is between books 3 and 4 or 4 and 5, and he tells a story about when he was younger. So it's kind of like Wizard and Glass.
Yeah, it is like Wizard and Glass. But then it's like Wizard and Glass, and then somebody telling a story in Wizard and Glass and goes back, and so it's like a Western wrapped in Dark Tower, and then inside the Western is a fairy tale.
Oh yeah, totally.
But I loved it. It's just a really good story. That's all.
Okay, moving on from Dark Tower.
Okay, no more Dark Tower.
So what have you been up to?
I watched Return of the Living Dead this weekend. We already talked about that. I also watched The Conjuring, which I hadn't seen yet. So Conjuring, I guess. So it's directed by James Wan, who's working on this current Aquaman movie.
Which he directed the Saw, right?
Oh, God. Now I'm confused. Maybe I'm getting people mixed up.
Paranormal Activity. No, he did do that. I want to say...
Who did Fast and Furious 7?
Justin Lin.
No. Justin Lin didn't do 7.
Oh.
I think it's James Wan.
James Wan's doing 8.
Justin Lin 100% absolutely did not direct 7. I can say that with with absolute certainty.
What are you going to say?
I can say it with a fact, which is this fact, which is that Justin Lin did not direct Fast and Furious 7.
What happens if you're wrong?
Then I turn into a pumpkin.
That's a weird thing.
Yeah, it's fucking weird. That's Cinderella.
Okay, you're right. James Wan actually
did James Wan.
7. So,
okay, but did James Wan, am I right that James Wan actually did The Conjuring?
Oh, I'm 99% sure.
Okay.
Yeah, like he also did Saw. Yeah, I was right. So he did.
Oh, okay.
He did Insidious.
But did he do Conjuring?
Yes.
Okay. So he's done like all those things.
Conjuring 1, 2, and this, unless it's producer. Let's director, because he did Conjuring. He did Insidious 2, not Insidious 1, and did Saw. Oh, he did Insidious 1 as well. Okay, so yeah, I don't know how he got.
So it's pretty good.
I'm sorry, Fast and Furious 7 was a bad movie.
It's not a bad movie.
It's a horrible movie.
It's not a bad movie.
I like the Fast and Furious franchise. 7 is a piece of
It's crazy and...
Listen to our podcast about all the Fast and Furious movies.
Yeah, we don't need to talk about that again. So Conjuring made like a whole bunch of money, I guess. Like it's like historically it made a lot of money for a horror movie in that time of the year and stuff like that. It's good. That's it. That's all I have to say.
I won't fucking watch it.
I don't think it's that scary. That's
the one where like she has a match and she's in the cellar and the hands like clap and the light goes out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nope. Not doing it.
I think that there's too much stuff happening in The Conjuring for it to be scary. This is just kind of a brand of scary movie, like Insidious, like Sinister, like I could probably, there's a couple other ones that I could think of that I can't think of right now. I don't know. I can't really put my finger on it, but they all feel similar. Like it's kind of supernatural. It's still kind of like it's still a lot of jump scares. And I think that's kind of maybe what there's some creepy stuff to it, but there's still a lot of, stuff because it plays in a movie theater, right?
I am not watching those fucking movies.
I know
That's all
you're
I'm
not.
going to say. So let's just get this straight here. So psychological horror. Shit going bump in the dark. I can't do it anymore, man. I did it too much. Like the whole Blair Witch thing, I can't do it anymore.
Oh, I don't know if you changed it. I rewatched Blair Witch recently.
Isn't the new one already out?
Yeah.
Did you not go see it yet?
Not yet, no.
Oh, because you asked me about it. I figured you went right
No.
away. After trying to watch Hardcore Henry, I'm pretty sure I'll get motion sickness, so I'm not going to be able to watch it in theaters. I'm going to have to watch it at home like 20 minutes at a time. I can't go do it.
I recommend if you're going to if you're going to rewatch Blair Witch Project, I recommend doing it like on a laptop with headphones with a screen like right in front of you. In the dark.
I can't do it anymore. Just can't.
It didn't actually It didn't like give me like a sleepless night or anything. It's still creepy as shit.
If I think about the ending, I'm already creeped out.
Yeah.
I don't even want to watch it, let alone I think about it. I can't.
Yeah.
After what The Ring did, and The Ring's not scary. I've had people like that. I'm like, fuck you. Like,
I think
fine. Maybe if you were a grown up, I watched it when I was 16 and it scared the fucking shit out of me.
Yeah.
I had to sleep at the nightlight for a while. But also Return of the Living Dead, when I was a kid, I watched it. That gave me the most fucking nightmares. Why?
Right,
my dad was like, don't watch it.
But clearly not a scary movie for like an adult.
Exactly. But whatever. There are things about it that take the humor and the comedy away. It's still
right.
I mean, Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead, the idea of being eaten alive, whatever.
It's a different kind of scare. That doesn't keep you up at night in your room,
I guess. I used to think like zombies were in my room. I was like under the blanket, under the pillow. I'm like, I don't move. They won't see me. Those, whatever. But like the psychological stuff, and the Ring, and the remake, the reboot they're doing, which looks stupid because it's like the same thing, but also looks kind of good. I can't do it.
See, The Ring, I think, is probably one of the better examples of the kind of movie that I'm trying to articulate. And I think it did start with the American remakes of the Japanese ghost movies.
Yeah.
And it's just continued that trend now. Like the final permutation of them is movies like The Conjuring. So yeah, I don't know what it is, but I can't. Like the Babadook, I would say is.
Can't watch Babadook.
Yeah, no, I would say the Babadook is genuinely scary.
You told me it wasn't scary when you gave it to me. You're like, oh no,
because I watched it like in the middle of the day. I guess I didn't think it was that scary. I think you would think it was really scary.
I watched like. I got the video and I just kind of make sure it was working, the subtitles, whatever, and I clicked on a random spot in the middle and I see the fucking hand come down the chimney and I was like, I can't watch this. Yeah. What the fuck is this all about?
Yeah.
And I feel it sucks because I feel like The Conjuring. I watched Insidious, and that I guess if I was watched parts of Insidious right now, I think they look like silly and stupid.
Yeah.
But when I watched it, it's fucking. I don't like that shit. It scares me.
Yeah. Because
I have a house and I walk around at night in the dark when I put kids to bed. Like
right.
In my house in the middle of the night, you hear thump 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 thump. You're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Oh, it's kids going to pee in the middle of the night. But like, you hear people walking around your house at night and shit. So yeah, I can't.
It's also the thing is The Conjuring. The house looks.
Nope.gif.
It looks like the house from Chucky, from the last Chucky movie. Like, I was complaining. I was like,
the last, meaning like number 6?
Yeah, where it just looks like a big creepy Tim Burton house.
Mansion. Yeah,
yeah, because it's like an old house that they live in the 70s
on a true
and stuff.
Story, isn't it?
Well, that's actually the part that I think that people really like about it, and it is actually cool. Is that you have Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga,
who's also in Insidious.
Is she really?
Patrick Wilson.
No, that's it's Ethan Hawke.
Really?
In Insidious, yeah. And I haven't seen that yet, but I have it on my hard drive. Yeah.
Ethan Hawke is in The Purge.
Yeah, he's also in Insidious. It's not Patrick Wilson. Maybe it is Insidious. I'm thinking of Sinister. They all have some fucking Insidious, Sinister. They all have interchangeable names.
Yeah, Patrick Wilson.
It's the most interchangeable names. You're right. Yes.
I remember the scene in Insidious. I remember why fuck that movie. There's the whole baby monitor thing, which is creepy, but it's not that bad. When she's upstairs and the fucking person walks by the window.
Yeah.
On the I can't. Nope, I can't.
That movie was scary, but then there's the part where he goes like into the underworld in the basement or whatever, and it just looks goofy and like.
That's what I mean. Like it's not quite, but it's creepy though.
Yeah.
There's something about that the house is dark, the lights are out, and the old lady's there. I just can't. I'm a little,
Yeah. I think those also movies are too stylized, like they're too like they're lit too stylized and stuff. I think that I think if you want to be really effective in horror, like really scaring the shit out of me, is when I turn the movie off and then I look at my house or my apartment and it looks like what I was just watching.
That's what I'm. So what?
But it doesn't though. Like it's always like a creepy house or it's lit really moody or something like that. And you're like, oh no, this is what normal things look like. Which is what the genius is of Paranormal Activity, is because that just looks like a home. It just looks like a well-to-do white, like expensive, nice house, and it's like the safest, whitest fucking place ever.
Way nicer than where we live.
Yeah, and so you're just like, oh, this is the safest place ever made, right? And then you watch this movie where all these fucking horrible things happen in that space, and so now when you look at it, you think of it.
And then you make a bunch of sequels to it that are fucking bad.
I like the second one.
The second one's okay, but
I like found footage movies. I like them.
If they're good.
By the way, if I feel like a lot of people haven't seen this, the last Exorcism is really good. That's all.
I've heard that.
I want to say that's the last like genuinely good found footage movie I watched.
I was thinking about a horror movie and I forgot what it was. There was a Children of the Corn marathon the other week. I saw like a minute of 4 and they cut a guy in half and I went, okay, these are at least better than the first one.
I feel like when people say, get naked and then walk through a cornfield or run through a cornfield backwards and then you have Children of the Corn, I feel like there's a joke to be made there in terms of what would it be like to watch those movies. But I don't know what it is.
You better figure it out. So
anyway, that's it. That's The Conjuring. I guess I'll watch the sequel. It was good, but I don't think it's as good as everybody says it is. That's my review.
That's your review of The Thank you for like how many years late.
Yeah, I know.
So it's just because you just watched it is why.
Yeah, I just watched it. I mean, it's just whatever you and I are doing. That's
also, also, I wanted to do a joke on Twitter, but I just never got around to it. But I tried watching Hardcore Henry.
He's making that noise not because he thinks the movie's bad, but because it's hard to watch the first-person perspective.
I was so bummed that I didn't see it in theaters, and now I'm so glad I didn't see it in theaters.
Yeah.
I watched the first night. I got through 20 to 25 minutes before I was like hot, and I gotta go to fan, lay down, and then that motion sickness like sticks with you for a while. You just feel gross for a while.
Yeah.
It makes me think of VR. And like, I'll go back to the Jeff Gerstmann thing. He doesn't get sick playing VR at all. And he was saying he was playing something where he started getting hot and he took it off. And he's like, yeah, I got that. I started getting motion sickness. And he's like, it was with me for like hours afterwards. It sucks. So I watch Hardcore Henry about 15 minutes a night. I was going to buy some Bonning, like non-drowsy motion sickness stuff, and take it and see if that worked. Then I would go see Blair Witch.
So that started as like a short movie, right? It turns out they got it right the first time.
Oh, yeah. Well, so I'd seen the stuff on the internet, like the action sequences, and they didn't make me sick at all. But when you watch a movie where there's like a guy hiding between cars and he's turning his head left and right to look, it goes over the edge too much. But when it's just like pure action, it's totally fine. That movie is it is beyond amazing. Even though it's good, it is an amazing movie because there's nothing like this movie. Not just because it's first person, because you watch and just go, how the fuck did they do any of this? I mean, like, literally, it's just like, and behind the scenes, the guy wears a helmet with, like, GoPros on it, but there's times when, like, that's obviously not what they were doing. It was on a crane, and the guy, it's really good. It's really good. It's a dumb action movie. Nope. Just go watch it. It's good.
But in 15-minute increments.
If you can't take it, don't feel bad. Charlton Copley?
Mm-hmm. Charlton Copley, I think so,
Is it Charlton, not Charlton? Yeah, Copley. If you've seen the trailer, he plays multiple characters. It's so good. It's so good. I can't even say anything else. Go see Hardcore Henry.
I'll watch it.
The last fight scene is basically like I'll just give a quick, like, he's basically android, like he's part robot and human. He's been like spliced together. The last fight in the movie is like him versus 30 other android-y robot fighters. So it's not like just him like regular guys. It is ridiculous. On a rooftop and helicopter involved and just it's so good. So good, but I can't watch it anymore. I can't watch it again because I'll just get sick.
Oh.
Anyways.
That's it for me for watching stuff. I've been busy reading.
Playing any games?
I tried to play...
Oh, yeah. That was me. Never mind.
I'm still trying to play Alien Isolation, which is another super late to the party. Nobody cares about this, but...
everyone's been recommending it for a long time,
yeah,
too.
It's like, oh, you're the Alien fan. You got to play this game. So here's my thing with Alien Isolation. I played it on the Xbox, and it just didn't look very good, in my opinion. And also the latency with the joysticks, even though I turned the sensitivity all the way up, I'm used to playing...
Yeah, I remember trying to play Battlefield after you one time, and I was like, oh, I can't... What? How do you move? Everything's just moving too fast.
Yeah, I mean, I turn the sensitivity way up when I play first-person shooters. And this one, because I'm assuming they're trying to, maintain a sense of like they don't want you to feel like too quick and nimble and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They're not gonna like just the latency. It just felt really sluggish. Anyway, so I can play this game on my PC now. I have like a PC that can run games like that.
You're welcome.
Thank you. So I said, fuck it, I'm just going to try it there. It does look 10 million times better, and I turned the sensitivity up, and it's much better now. I don't know what the difference is between the PC and the Xbox. So my thing with scary games like this, or I'm scary games in quotes that you can't see because you can't see me.
John Cena style?
Yeah. It's, I don't like stealth games, okay?
I do.
I don't really like stealth games. I don't hate them, but so, for example, Last of Us, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. Would you call that a stealth game? Because I would just call it a survival game that has stealth elements in it.
I think the proper way to play that game is you're rewarded it.
Because I'm shooting
for
fools, like, it's eventually when I get enough weaponry.
This problem with games like that is like they kind of push you to a point where like, oh, be stealthy, and you get to a point where you're like, well, I can't be anymore.
Right.
I've been playing Rise of the Tomb Raider, and stealth there is great, like sneaking up and bow and arrow. But then they throw you in situations where it's like, oh, you're in a room, and there's 4 guys with like armored combat units coming at you, and they're throwing bombs at you. You're like, well, guess being stealthy is fucking out the window. Like,
right.
Why did I practice so much getting stealthy if you're just going to throw me in a situation where it's like now you have to have an action sequence? So and it kills the gameplay because like I'm not prepared for this.
Yeah. So you can't.
So I would say Last of Us, play through stealthy until like the point where you can't anymore.
Right.
But for the most part in that game you can. It makes me think of Metal Gear Solid 5.
Uh-huh.
Like I played 300 hours of that game. If you know on our Instagram, you've seen that picture I posted. I played too much of that game. I probably didn't kill anyone really. And I mean, obviously I killed some people, but I played that game stealthily, tranquilizer, dragon bodies, Fultoning. Like, yes, I like stealth if it's a good setup. Something like Alien Isolation, I have no desire to be quiet and walk around hallways forever.
In Alien Isolation, you have no map. And what I mean by that is not you can pull up a map, but I mean you have no like mini map or anything. They're trying to immerse you, right? So there's no like HUD or anything like that. So I brought up Last of Us because in Last of Us you have that you have the ability to like I know he's just supposed to be like listening really close.
Oh, but
essentially you can see through walls,
the sonar
like,
view,
right? And that makes it so like Metal Gear Solid 3, right? When it first came out, it didn't have. Remember later they made it so you could rotate the camera and get different views and stuff.
Yeah,
I couldn't play that game before then.
You're right.
I really couldn't do it. And
actually, I think I played it only once I was able to do that, and I could see the traditional non-camera movement was like, whoa, this is. How do you do this?
And it's just not being able to see like around walls or kind of just what's around you and stuff like that. I just don't like it. I don't enjoy that kind of stealth and experience.
For me, I'll just get sick because any first-person game that has like find the hidden objects and shit. If I'm doing a lot of like even third-person, if I'm doing a lot of like looking around the environment, moving the camera to find so Rise of the Tomb Raider again, it has a kind of like that sonar thing in Last of Us. You can click a button and it will like highlight in gold items to pick up and shit.
Right.
And you're constantly looking for artifacts and stuff like that to get bonus points, whatever. Too much of that movement, too much looking around the environment, too much moving the camera, I will get motion sickness.
Right.
Because I'm not focusing on playing the goddamn game. And so a first-person game where I'm moving the entire screen to look constantly behind me, in front of me, nope, not into it. Battlefield, but not that. So,
and then my other thing with, scary games, just to give you an idea, so if I play something like Silent Hill, which I think the atmosphere, like everything, all of it together, that's enough.
I won't play Silent Hill.
It's stressful. It's stressful enough. I'm never gonna play that game on like normal, like difficulty setting.
You mean you always play it on easy?
I will always play it on easy forever for the rest of my life. Like every time I sit down and play that, and again, it's because you have 10 million rooms. In directions, I'm already bad with directions in terms of
oh my god,
I'm the worst.
You should understand watching Ryan play a video game. And he cannot remember the slightest bit of map.
No.
It is so frustrating.
No, I'm really bad. I'm admittedly really bad with that stuff. And so, especially when a lot of stuff looks the same and things like that. And so add puzzles to that. And now here's also monsters that'll kill you. And it's scary as shit. So I don't need to play that on normal, right? So I'm going to do the same thing with Alien Isolation. It's supposed to be like a terrifying experience, whatever. I'm putting this on like the easiest setting possible.
Yeah.
And so it has the...
You want the experience.
I just want the experience.
You don't necessarily need the challenge part of it.
And I don't really think there's much gain here. Right. Even like if I was going to play like on a higher difficulty, because I don't know there's no like resistance to anything. It feels like I'm trying to... So I was talking about the sonar thing.
Well, once you find out the twist and the thing, you realize why it's been so cheap the whole time.
Right, I know what you mean. I mean, it's not even just that. I mean, they put holes in the ceiling and every goddamn place. It could come from anywhere.
Right.
But I'm not even talking about that. You take the alien out of the equation, and there's parts where so they have these the working Joes, I think is what they're called, or something like that. And there's just these faceless. There's these androids that like you're sneaking around places on the ship where you're not supposed to be, and if they see you, they'll get you, right?
Yeah.
And there's parts like pretty.
When they do that, when they go, gotcha.
Yeah.
Let me tickle you for a little bit.
Yeah, they tickle you with their. They break your ribs while they're tickling you and break your neck. There's like pretty big areas that you have to get through them, and you have no like bird's eye view or like you can't see where you're kind of supposed to go.
Yeah, I see them where you kind of just come around the corner and it's like right there.
And you're crouching the whole goddamn time because you don't know if you'll be constantly in situations where like if you're not crouched and like you stand up and you just have no idea who has what the field of view is like
right.
from any enemies or anything like that. I don't want to talk about it all.
It kind of goes back to Metal Gear again. Is that one of the ingenious things it did when it had a mini map? It would show like what direction they're looking,
yeah,
and how far they could see, and
right.
kind of how far.
And
they
so
could
I know
hear.
that breaks immersion or whatever, but like that makes it more of a game because now it's like Pac-Man. You have like you see lanes of where you go and like where you know what I mean. So it's it's almost like
get good.
I guess, but this is so it feels kind of more like you're just stumbling through it, and maybe that's the idea. Maybe it's just like, well, if you were in real life, you're like, I hope nobody sees me when I go by here,
right?
And that's part of the tension and stuff. But I feel like it's a lot of, especially in the areas where the alien is roaming around, and the alien's fucking cool. I would say so. Hats off to production design and the sound design. And the creature itself, all that stuff is sick. They did a really good job.
Sick, bro.
It's super sick, dude. Super sick, bro. But I don't know. It's just a lot of just hiding. It's a lot of just like you have your motion tracker, and just every once in a while you take it out, and the alien like, oh shit, it's coming, and you don't really have a good idea of what direction it's coming from because it can just be in the ceiling. So even if you have like a wall behind you, it like the signal might be coming from like vaguely behind you.
It reminds me of a game I played recently where it's like there's a mini map, but you couldn't tell what floor they're on.
No,
what is that?
I mean, and so that's really obnoxious. It's hard to tell like when it's in the room with you and then you leave, and I don't really kind of know when it's safe to go. It's kind of useless telling you like how close it is to you or where like in what direction it is. It's only useful in that it's nearby.
Yeah.
Because then the music plays and all this kind of stuff. It gets nearby. So essentially, this is what the game is, like the actual mechanics of it. You explore around looking for a thing, right? Like around a lot of stuff, like lots of rooms and down hallways. You go down a hallway and it freaks you out because there's no good place. In the hallways, there's no locker or anything to like jump in.
Right.
Like except in the rooms. So you could get fucking stuck. You could be in a hallway and you're like, I'm fucked. Like it's, oh God, here it is. It's coming and I don't have anywhere to go.
The idea of the randomness... the reason why speedrunning is popular with certain games is because it's predictable. You know exactly what's going to happen, and granted, that can get boring, but sometimes it's fun to challenge yourself. When games present that element of complete randomness, sometimes this is frustrating.
It's a little bit frustrating. So this is what the actual mechanic of the game is. The mechanic of the game is pay attention to your thing that makes a noise, like your motion tracker, and if it's making a noise, find the nearest place to hide. And you wait there until you see the alien, and then okay, now the alien's looking around, and then you wait for it to leave, and then you get out and you keep going. That's what the game is essentially.
Yeah.
So I think there's a lot of things they could have done with the actual mechanics, actual game design. They would have made it better if they put more effort into it. If they maybe made it a little bit more scripted. I think they relied too much on the idea that it's this AI that you don't know what it's going to do. I don't honestly think that's that. They could have given it some patterns. They could have given it some,
or like the idea if you have certain items that can, like
so
the
you
sound,
do.
the,
So that,
I mean, like the sound one, but
so I got like a flame, like a torch, and I have some different stuff now. And last time I sat down and played it, I got fucking eaten. And I actually had stuff like that. It doesn't feel super intuitive to just whip that stuff out and use it. You have to like go to the radial menu, and
you're not used to whipping it out.
Yeah, whip it out all the time. So admittedly, like maybe once I get used to like, oh, well, you know that when the alien sees you, you can throw a firecracker down or something like that. And
yeah, right. Some snaps. What's an alien? So you don't want pop,
it's
pop,
like,
pop,
oh,
pop.
stop. Don't throw this at me. That comes back later or whatever. But anyway, that's where I'm at with that.
You're the guy with the fireworks. Okay.
I'm going to finish this game, even though I hear people say it's like 20 hours. And I'm like, how is this game that long? That's crazy. But I am going to finish. I mean, on an alien level fan, nobody's ever put this amount of detail and like
the game
craft and all that kind of stuff.
The location, like everything they did, but that's great. But it's just the gameplay.
And the story's been interesting, and the world building of it and everything has been really cool. I'm not super duper enjoying the actual game.
And it's not the introduction of. It kind of is, but that's the whole thing with Amanda, and then she's in the Aliens Defiance comic for like one
vaguely,
page,
yeah, just right there. But then the Working Joes, like the androids in Aliens Defiance, look like the Working Joes, so it's kind of cool.
It's extended universe, but also canon, so it's getting kind of cool there.
I was gonna play State of Decay because you said you were going to download it, so I was going to play it too. But
so we're like the big Alien fan site for now, it seems like, and everything like that. But the thing that I love more than anything, we already talked about Return of the Living Dead, is zombies. I'm the big zombie guy, and I'm not, oh God, I love The Walking Dead. Like, I really don't. I watch it, but only out of a sense of like, I watched I was into it for a while, got bored of it, but I'll keep watching it because I'm invested at least. But I like zombie shit. And State of Decay was like, this is the zombie game to play, and I just hadn't done it for a long time. And then the Year One Survival Edition came out, which it fixes the bugs and it looks better and has all these. It's better now. So I'm like, all right, you had played it and you're like, oh, it's good, whatever. Tried it out, got about 7 hours in and said, I can't fucking keep doing this. I can't keep walking back to my base and going, hey buddy, you feeling sad? You want to go on a walk and kill some zombies? The game has so many I want to say systems, but like there's so many bars. It's like a Sims or SimCity. Somebody's sad. Somebody needs to go to the bathroom. Oh, so you gotta get some food. Fucking stop. Leave me alone. I want to go kill some zombies and I want to go like build a base. That all it is goddamn missions of like, let me hold your hand.
Yeah, I feel like it would have been beneficial to them to not go into so much detail on the actual characters.
Yeah.
Because I think that's...
And the idea that you could, like, oh, well, he's tired, switch to another character. I go, I've been using this one character.
Right.
He has a suplex move that he can do. I move to somebody else, I don't know what to do up close with them because they have a different moveset, or they're good with guns and this guy was good at the blunt weapon.
Right.
It's too much work on my mind to switch between characters and remember who does what and what their specialties are.
Right.
It just, great idea. I'm waiting for the zombie MMO that we can play in co-op, and that's like State of Decay without so much nagging.
Well, that's their next step, I guess. Is
right.
This is their dry run for making an MMO.
I like Dead Rising a lot. Like, I really like Dead Rising. I'm so excited for Dead Rising 4. I liked what was the other one I was just thinking about? Not State of Decay, but whatever. Dead Rising's really good.
I like,
and the remakes are out. So.
I still like State of Decay though. I don't. I just want to be the opinion that's not just like it's a bad game.
It's not a bad game. They just took it too far.
I think a lot of stuff you might even be able to ignore. This is kind of the things where sometimes the game throws the functionality in there, but it's not necessarily that important to like move forward.
But then I read like a fact. You're like, oh, you should do a walkthrough. It'll help you kind of like.
Yeah, I think I think definitely it's a walkthrough game.
What to expect in the future, and it's like, oh, these enemies, like, oh, you will die. I was like, okay, no, I see how much more difficult it's going to get.
Yeah.
And I'm already having enough problems with this small area that it's going to get bigger.
Right.
And I'm just going to feel overwhelmed all the time.
But valiant effort. I like the idea of
absolutely
taking the town back by inches, and setting an outpost.
Constantly is under. Yeah, it reminds me of a game where it's like you build a base. It's like, we're under attack. Come help us. Hey, we're under attack. No, defend yourself.
Yeah.
I set you up. Go defend yourself.
I'm just gonna play Resident Evil 4 again.
God, Resident Evil 4 is so good. You buy the remake?
Not yet.
Or the up to 60 frames a second now? Yeah,
I'll play it again. It'll happen.
Oh, enough games.
Yeah, enough games. That was a big chunk of talking. Do you want to maybe move to questions?
You want to move to emails?
Emails.
Where do you send the emails to?
I already forgot.
Alphacast@alpharookie.com.
Alphacast@alpharookie.com.
Yep.
Okay.
That is the email address. Let me pull up the emails. Okay. First email comes from Chase. I'll just read it verbatim, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't want to summarize it.
Yeah.
Hey there, you rad badasses over there at the Alpha headquarters. I've been a big fan of your channel ever since I discovered your Alien Comics video. You and everybody else. I love all your videos, especially the ones on obscure overlooked comics, but it got me thinking, are there any comics you are currently keeping up, and which ones are your favorites? Also, since Halloween is just around the corner, I was wondering if you had any horror comics, aside from Hellraiser, or comics that just fit the Halloween mood. Keep up the great work, and eagerly await your next video and or podcast, which is what this is. So
first part of that question.
What are you reading right now currently and keeping up with?
I don't actually keep up with a lot of comic books, and there's some reasons for that. So I do read almost all like number one first issues that they come out. I work in a comic book store. I need to be able to talk to customers about, I don't need to, but it's.
Does that mean you watch anime too, just so you can talk to the customers about it?
No, I don't mean like that. I mean, it's just a good, it's just good it's just a good idea on my part to be able to talk to customers. Like, I read this, it's pretty good. You should check it out, blah, blah, blah.
Hey, before I forget, I want to mention, I beat Dark Souls 3. I'm so proud of myself.
Oh, well, good job.
Also, I had to have someone help me beat the last boss, but I finished a Dark Souls game.
Good for you.
Dark Souls 3 is really good. You should play it.
There's Dark Souls comics.
I should. Happy Souls is the greatest YouTube video ever made. Anyways.
So I think there might be some that I'm still, when the issues come out, Injection by Warren Ellis and Duncan Shalvey. It's an Image book. Southern Bastards, I think I'm pretty close to being caught up on. Rumble is a really cool monster, a lot of monsters in that book. But for the most part, I read the first issue, I go, okay, cool, that was good or wasn't good or whatever. And then I just wait for that shit to be done, to be honest. There are so many things that are finished that I've missed that have come out in the last like 80 years of comic books or whatever, and I would rather go back and read something that is already like remembered fondly or is important.
Or like the classic that you never got to.
Or the classic that I never got to, rather than like sticking through. So I know that kind of sucks. Like, I wish I had more time to kind of keep up with everything, but I just don't have the time, especially with the Alpha Rookie stuff. I do have to kind of like pick and choose what I have time to read, and hopefully that coincides with what I actually want to read. Anyway, so as far as Halloween horror books and stuff like that, I could literally just sit here for 2 hours and Kyle not saying anything, making recommendations, so I won't do that. I will say that my favorite comic book, like if you put a gun to my head, or Desert Island comic series, is Hellboy. I will at some point figure out how to do a video project on Hellboy. It's just that,
and BPRD,
and the whole thing. I cheat. I mean, the whole Mike Mignola is the creator of Hellboy. I call it the Mignola verse, right? The way people refer to the Batman and Justice League and Superman as like the Bruce Timm verse or whatever.
Yeah.
This is the Timm verse. The Timm verse. So this is the Mignola verse. So I yes, the whole Mignola verse. It's so big, it's so massive. I have so many things that I want to say about it that that's going to be a huge thing that I want to make sure that I have the time to tackle it. So fucking Hellboy, read Hellboy. Hellboy's fantastic.
It's also really big. There's
a lot of it. And part of what I would say in my video is that there is a lot of it, but it is not like Batman or Spider-Man or Superman or some shit like that. Like, there is no like jump on point. You need to start at the beginning. The thing though is that unlike Batman, Superman, and all that stuff, it's not going to actually go on forever. Hellboy ended. Hellboy as a character and as a comic book ended. And BPRD has been the kind of spinoff book that's really just been like the main book for a while now. That's, according to them, they're only going to be doing like probably 4 or 5 years more worth of comics for the last like bit of the story that they want to tell, and then that'll be it. That'll be the end of it.
Still a lot.
It's still a lot, but it never retreads itself. It never it becomes redundant. It always finds new territory, and I like good stories have to have an end. That's my opinion.
Yeah. And then a reboot.
Yeah, and then you can reboot it later for a new generation. As far as like other stuff, Lock and Key is really great. It's a 6-volume series by Stephen King's son, Joe Hill. We'll probably do a video. I mean, that book sells really well. I think it's pretty popular.
I know you've liked Tales from the Crypt.
I do like the old actual EC stuff, entertaining comics, the infamous horror and crime and war comics that came out in the 50s that eventually kind of like paved the way to the Comics Code Authority and people burning comic books.
Which is in our video on
it's like a whole thing.
Which video is that?
Probably in Hellraiser, I would guess. I can't remember. We've done
Metal
some
Hurling stuff. Why?
Yeah. I mean, that's a whole thing. It's really interesting comic book history. Most people that know anything about comic books kind of know about how comic books got censored, or self-censored rather, and those are kind of the horror comics that lead up to it. Anyway, that stuff's great. Most people know Tales from the Crypt is probably the most famous one now because they did the HBO show. And those are great too, by the way. The HBO shows are really great adaptations. They're very spiritually, they do a good job, and they're fun. I would say Alan Moore's Swamp Thing run, one of the best comic books ever made, and probably the first half of it is definitely a horror book. I'm thinking about doing, if you want just you're like, yeah, I've read all those. If you want like a quick like under the radar kind of thing, I think maybe I'll do an overlooked on it for Halloween. There's a book called Blackfire. Yep, you haven't heard of that one. I guarantee you haven't heard of that one. That's published by Archaea. They're best known for doing like Mouse Guard and The Killer and a few other things. It's a historical horror book. So it takes place when Napoleon was trying to invade Russia, right? And that was a real bad idea because it was it was way big and way cold.
Hey, hindsight's 2020.
Yeah. Well, Hitler tried to do it again later, so even he didn't learn a lesson. So it's these French soldiers that are retreating back out of Russia, and they're starving and freezing to death. And while they're doing it, they just happen upon a Russian town that just seems like it just popped up out of nowhere, and they're like, okay, well, let's go in there because we're gonna die if we don't. And it's a lot of fucked up shit that happens to them, like paranormal kind of stuff, but it's all rooted in like Russian mythology and folklore and scary stuff. So also, if you're like a fan of Hellboy, you would really dig it. And the artwork's pretty cool, and it's not by anybody you've ever heard of, and it's not been like, I never see it in anybody's like top anything lists, but I think it's a pretty cool little horror book. All right, so that wasn't too bad. What did I do? Like 15 minutes?
Current, right?
What do you mean it's current?
Blackfire, is that what you said?
It came out like in the last 10 years.
Oh, okay. So it's not like something that's like hot and new right now.
No.
Hot, but like newish.
Well, if you want like new stuff, Harrow County is a really cool new horror book. There's a lot of witch shit going on. So Harrow County is really great. There's a book by Jock and Scott Snyder called just Witches that was really popular. And I feel like everything's threes, but I can't think of a third one. I know that there's another one that's about whatever witches got really popular all of a sudden.
It'll come to you later tonight after.
Ooh, The Witch, that movie that came out. You didn't watch that yet?
I have it, and
that movie's fan-fucking-tastic. That's a creepy, scary movie about witches.
I don't know if I can do it. Like,
you can do it. It's not dark. It's not dark, scary stuff. It's scary though. That movie's so good.
A couple minutes where there's like a person laying nude somewhere with a bunch of stuff, and I'm like, okay, I don't know if I.
Yeah, that movie's great. That movie. I'm now switching subjects. That movie is like, so that the guy that made that movie went out of his way to make sure everybody talked like the way that you were supposed to talk in the puritanical period, and be authentic. Like their set is like just like literally built exactly the same way and all that kind of stuff. But
Harry Bush.
But it's not just like artistic, like, no, I want it to be authentic. Like there's a really good reason behind it. Basically, the reason he makes that movie is he wants you, the audience, to be as scared of the idea and concept of the witches exactly the way that they were scared of it back then.
Yeah.
So in other words, like you think about a witch now and you go, oh, they were just girls that got burned to the stake and stuff, right? And it's not it might not necessarily be scary. And it may not, there's no such thing as witches and all that kind of stuff, right? But
it says Hugh.
It says me. But the movie did a really good job of like trying to be like, no, dude, try to imagine no electricity, no, like you would believe this. You would look out into the woods and you would think, yes, that shit's real. Yeah. That shit's scary as fuck. Anytime anything weird happened in your village or anything like that, you'd be like, it's a fucking witch. Just burn it all down. Because that's scary. That's scary shit, man. Yeah, good stuff. All right, that's it for me for comic books. Otherwise, I'll go on all night.
Are there any movies coming out this year?
Hopefully that answers your question, Chaser.
Chaser. Oh, it's same.
I think it's Chaser 97.
Yeah. Anything coming out this year in terms of movies that Halloween sucks? I know something.
We kind of already got all our...
The Rings reboot, whatever you want to call it, got pushed to February. And Friday the 13th got pushed from February to next October.
Well, the Friday the 13th video game looks pretty cool.
Oh, yeah.
Asymmetrical gameplay. Hard to do. Sometimes it doesn't really work out.
I'll play that in its regular Nintendo version. That game is hard but good.
I don't really know about any upcoming horror scary movies or anything like that, but I'm woefully under-informed.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you still can go to the movies, though.
I try to go to the movies.
I can. So. Okay.
Watch old shit.
Next and last email for this week. Hey, guys, I'm Dan.
Thank you for writing in, by the way.
Yeah, please, everybody, just write in with, I don't care what it is, just give us...
We got good questions. I was kind of like just expecting to get no questions.
Yeah.
But this is cool.
I put out the call the day yesterday, and also on Twitter and Instagram, we don't have that many followers, so
right.
I don't even...
But I'm also impressed with the questions. These are interesting questions I actually have answers to and stuff, so it's cool.
I've been a subscriber since I first ever found a topic which is close to me, being Alien and Predator franchises. Your content on the comics is content I've always wanted to see but was never present in video form. I would be interested to know your opinions on the future of the Alien movie series and what your hopes are for Covenant. Another topic you could look at would be the new Predator movie along with the movie's prequel, which, by its synopsis, seems to be retelling the story of the original Predator. Finally, it draws out even longer. I'd love to see discussion of the legendary Pictures kaiju universe as they are introducing Toho monsters into the Godzilla sequel and even going to do Kong vs. Godzilla. Pacific Rim is also a favorite. And with all the news about the sequel, it'll be cool to hear your thoughts. That's all I've got. Thank you for the content. I extremely agree with Pacific Rim being fucking awesome. Pacific Rim is
you want to
awesome.
start from the top and make your way back to the other part?
Okay, so let's go to Covenant. I am more excited about a Shane Black Predator movie than I am about Ridley Scott doing another alien movie. I don't know what to call it if it really is that. Only because I don't know what to expect from Covenant. Just like Prometheus was a great thing on its own, the idea of there being like, oh, more sequel, but it's not going to just like pick up right after Prometheus, especially we've all heard the synopsis. I don't really know what to expect, so I can't really get excited. I don't know what the point, where's Ridley Scott's going.
So I'm excited for both, but in different ways. I would agree that the idea of, and sometimes I don't know, maybe in our comments or just in the internet in general, like somebody that, and then Shane Black doing a Predator movie, like that's not perfect.
Yeah. I don't like the pussy jokes from the first one. Well, I'm sorry.
Okay,
that's like
fuck off.
I mean, because that's Shane Black in a nutshell, because those were not written in the script. He's just like, hey, can I do this?
Yeah, I mean, I think it also just fits his. I think that man knows how to do an action movie. And I don't think that I think it'll feel like a Shane Black movie, but I do think that he might I think he might not be so Shane Black with this movie. I think that he understands that.
I mean, if you've seen Kiss Kiss Bang Bang or Iron Man 3, right?
Nice Guys recently.
I haven't seen it yet.
It was great.
I love his style. So, and it's going to be Christmas time always.
Yeah,
so.
It'll be Christmas time. Everything I've heard about the Predator.
That's why if Dead Rising 4, if you haven't, it's set in Christmas time.
Yeah.
At the place, it's like, oh, Shane Black made a Dead Rising game.
Everything about the Predator, everything I've heard so far excites me. I love the idea of him saying he's going to up the ante. So I like the idea that he's going to break the formula. I love the formula, but I like that I don't know what I'm going to expect from it.
Predator seems like it has this big, long history, and it really doesn't.
No, it's just the three movies.
Predator 1, 2, and then
you got your AVP movies.
A big gap, and then Predators, right? Yes, you have the AVP movies, but that's a different thing, especially with AVP 2 being... Yeah. I'm sorry people like it. That movie is garbage. It's a fucking teen high school bop.
We don't need to talk about that.
So really, they're only in 5 movies, one of which shouldn't be counted for anything.
Right.
One of which is like, I guess AVP can almost be like the first Resident Evil in my mind, where it's like, oh, it's not bad, but it should be a lot better.
Yeah.
So you have Predator 1, 2, and Predators. Predators doesn't count because it's practically just a remake of Predator with more Predators.
Right.
I mean, there are so many scenes and like
it's the Force Awakens of the Predator franchise, which you haven't seen it yet.
I actually was going to start watching New Hope the other day because I want to watch those before I watch the new Star Wars movie. You want to call them homages? I want to call them lazy filmmaking. There's so much shit in Predators that's just lazy filmmaking. Like, oh, remember this? Remember when somebody did this in the other movie?
Berries?
Remember Barry?
Remember Predator? Remember Dodge?
Yeah.
Remember Chain Gun? Oh.
Yeah. Predators wasn't...
No, it's not a bad movie.
It's not a bad movie. It's not a bad movie on its idea. It's also just some of the stuff that happens in there is just kind of dumb.
So I like that because... Again, when you adhere to the formula, only the next thing you can do without feeling like you're redundant, like in that one, is...
Because Predator 2, it has nothing like number...
Right,
Predator,
because you put it in a completely different setting.
Yeah.
Right? So that's what you can always do with that formula. You can take the same formula, you can say, let's have it be Pirate Days, let's have it be a Western, let's have it be whatever, right? Let's put it in China, we'll make it a Kung Fu movie,
Kung Fu Predator.
Yeah, there you go. Let's do it during the samurai period. You can do anything you want with it, but to make it interesting, you're going to have to change the setting, right? I like that what I've heard so far makes it sound like it's not just we're going to change the setting. It's like this detective movie. It's going to be like a mystery unravel, like somebody trying to track down.
You just need to have characters that are interesting.
Right.
Have their arc be interesting and have
But it's a Shane Black movie. There's no way that the characters are not going to be interesting. So now it's more like what is the actual movie, like the stakes. It doesn't matter. I'm getting into a lot of detail. A Shane Black Predator movie sounds magical.
Right.
Like,
and I don't care if they're shooting next month and they don't have a cast, whatever.
No, that's only because
I will wait.
People don't know how the way Hollywood works if that's the way they're complaining about things.
Right. Well, yeah, there's a lot of things that go on there that people don't understand. But just like with Dark Tower, I will reserve my judgment till it's out and I see it. When they were talking today on the Giant Beast cast, it was about the idea like Star Wars Rouge One. Stop. Why does everyone want to know everything about it? Don't you want to go to the movies?
I want to be surprised.
And actually see a movie and be like, oh, cool, I didn't know. He's like, basically, they're showing you everything but the credits at this point, Same thing goes here. I don't fucking care until it's out. Now, Dark Tower is one where they keep leaking stuff and showing stuff, and you're like, hey, here's a picture of him in his outfit. You're like, that looks fucking bad.
Right.
That stuff you can judge because they're showing you. I don't want to see anything. When Silent Hill coming out, or whatever it was, is like media blackout. I don't want to hear anything until it's out,
Yeah. No, I hear you, and
I have faith in the people who are making that, so I trust them to do.
Me too, and so what I was going to say is that I'm excited for both. I'm excited for Shane Black Predator because I think that's going to be good. So I'm just actually excited to go and see a good Predator movie.
Yes,
I'm excited for Covenant for the exact same reason that what you just said. I don't know what that's going to be.
Right.
And somebody might cynically say that I like Prometheus, but I understand Prometheus had a lot of problems and not, a lot of people don't like it. So you could be very cynical and just say like, oh, Ridley Scott doesn't know how to make movies anymore, and it's going to be just like Prometheus. I would disagree. Even if I got more of Prometheus, I actually would still be excited by that. But I would say like this dude made The Martian, which I think was one of the better movies to come out that year.
Yeah.
I think that he just needs a good script, and maybe he.
Oh, The Martian didn't adhere to science. Gravity.
Fuck off! It's a good movie.
Yeah.
So I'm excited by what Covenant could be because I don't know what the hell it is.
Yeah, I really like The Martian.
So even same thing with Prometheus, I didn't know what that was going to be, and even though it wasn't perfect, like it was still cool. I still liked it.
The flip side to that I would go is Ridley Scott has changed his mind, or the studio has changed funding, or whatever you want to call it. Oh, I'm going to make 3 movies. I'm making 4 movies. I'm not going to get to Alien to the 5th movie. It's constantly changing what like he says he's going to be doing, and you always hear about like, oh, the director's going to make this, and you're like, oh, great, I'll see it 7 years from now. Like, I don't like hearing about stuff where it's like, well, I already have 2 other movies lined up
right,
first.
It stresses you out
Because it's like the movie's not going to be out for 4
yeah,
fucking
I'm that
years,
way too.
right?
It's like when Marvel announced their whole slate for the next like 7 years, and you're like,
but you know what? They're probably going to adhere to it, and you see it in order. But every time it's like, oh, I'm shooting The Martian. I remember when I'm going to be shooting The Martian next was a thing, right? It's been a long time since he was going to start The Martian, his next movie. It's so far away, and things change, and studios change their ideas, and funding changes.
I mean, they gotta kind of do it that way because there's leaks and everything like that. You kind of gotta get ahead of it.
You get to a point where I don't believe anything you say or care what you have to say. Just tell me
Show
when the
me when
movie's
it's
out.
done.
So Covenant has so much controversy because there was going to be 3 movies, 4 movies. When does this person show up? Who's going to be in it? At this point, just, hey, when it's out, I'll go see it.
Right.
Hopefully it's good.
Part of why, again, you see our content on Alpha Rookie, and it's not just trying to like, oh, this is what they took a new photo. Let's talk about every single bit of information as it comes out because it's a total rat race. I don't really like doing that anymore. I'll watch like the teaser trailer, and then I don't want to see anything else. Yeah. And I'm trying to get more and more like that as I go.
I'm going to see it regardless, so why?
Right, of course. Like, it's something I'm going to see no matter what. The trailer exists now for me as the advertisement. Show me the trailer for the movie that I didn't care about or I was on the fence about or I'm not even really thinking about. And then I watch it and I go, that looks cool. Now I'm excited. But then if I've made that decision to see it in my head, and then, or maybe I'll wait for a review. But there's some stuff I'm going to see no matter what. So
just don't show me that trailer before the movie. I'm sick of trailers.
Kaiju stuff. I love kaiju stuff. We both love Pacific Rim. Super duper excited for a sequel.
Okay, Godzilla.
Okay, I liked Godzilla.
I liked it, but I also felt there was so many problems with that movie.
It had a problem in the script level. The characters weren't particularly interesting. The one character that was interesting, they kill. Yeah. And the actor's not great. Fine. I would say this: most Godzilla films are boring characters. You do a bunch of stuff that you don't care about, and you're just waiting for the actual monster action. Yeah. And in that sense, this is actually a very traditional very traditional Godzilla movie. I thought that all of the actual monster stuff was shot really well. And I thought I liked that. I know that he had to do what he could with the budget that he had, and he could have showed you more like earlier. But I liked what he did.
Didn't
teasing
we talk
it out
about this at one point?
Maybe.
Like, because he did Monster.
He did Monster, yes.
Monsters,
he knows how to do a lot with a little.
And if you watch Monsters and you watch Godzilla, they're the exact same movie.
Yeah.
Like, quite literally, the way that the pacing and everything about it, they are so similar.
I mean, Monster's a lot more subdued.
Of course. But what I mean is just the way it feels.
Yeah.
A lot of what he did.
Well, what he's all about is perspective and scale. So he's great with giant monster movies because he puts the camera in places that's where people would be. Like he gives you the feeling that you're there.
And it's a large.
Yeah. And I also really loved in the climax of Godzilla when they were fighting. There were points where it felt like, especially with the flying monster, it felt like it looked like it was on wires.
Wait, no. Didn't he shoot something before Monsters, or there was another movie
No, this is what he did after Monsters. I think.
Did he do something before that?
I mean, no, because what he's doing now is Rogue One, so.
Or there's a movie that someone made that was like
Maybe. I mean, you can look it up. So I would say that I don't know who's making it. I forgot who's involved in it. But the trailer for Kong Skull Island, which was formerly just called Skull Island until they realized, oh, wait, we're going to get more people interested in our movie. We actually put Kong in the title. That movie looks fucking dope. I am so down. I don't care if we had the Peter Jackson King Kong movie not that long ago or whatever. That movie looks awesome. A lot of the imagery in that trailer got me very excited. It seemed a little weird at first that they're going to make Kong as big as Godzilla so they can set up that fight, but I think it works. It feels very Lovecraftian, just so fucking big that like it blows your mind. I'm very excited for that movie. I am also very excited for an eventual Godzilla versus King Kong movie.
I don't care about King Kong.
You did not grow up watching Godzilla films.
I grew up watching Godzilla films. I grew up playing Godzilla on the regular Nintendo.
So how can you not get excited about a monster fight?
I grew up liking the black and white King Kong ripping the dinosaur mouth open.
Yeah.
I think it might just have to do with the idea of just moving to like, modern technology, CGI, whatever. And I just don't care.
I care. I still care.
I want to see... like I said, I want to partition everything off. I want to keep my Pacific Rim with Pacific Rim. I want to keep Godzilla with Godzilla and King Kong with King Kong. I don't want them to mix. No, normally I like the idea of mixing, but nah.
I think you got to do it. I think there's a kaiju verse just like anything else, and there's a tradition with monster movies that they cross over. You have your Jet or your Ultraman crossing over to Godzilla. I don't actually know if that happened. I know it's Jet Jaguar in the Godzilla movies. He just looks like Ultraman. You got your King Kong Godzilla crossover. So the one where I guess it gets silly, even though I'm still into the idea, and that was the question, is what they're all at Universal. So can you have a Pacific Rim and King Kong and Godzilla crossover? I'm open to it completely. They're all the same size. It could work out really good. They've already established multiple dimensions in Pacific Rim. You could do something like that.
If you focus on one, when I say character, like Godzilla being a character, when you focus on one per movie, you get more out of it. But if all of a sudden you throw, Freddy vs. Jason was one of those things where it's like, it sounds like it could be really bad, and it was like surprisingly good.
Yeah.
Freddy Krueger and Jason Voorhees have a lot of movies before that. Pacific Rim has one movie. Godzilla, to most regular people, there's really only one movie because Godzilla 2000 doesn't fucking count.
Yeah.
And most people don't ever watch Toho, like...
Yeah, but I think people still know Mothra,
Ghidorah.
Like, they even if they don't know those names, like you...
But you would have to have, like, 2 to 3 major Godzilla movies first in America, like, mainstream, before you could start crossing...
I think you could just cross them over. Like, I honestly... It's not the Avengers. They're not people,
I'm surprised Pacific Rim didn't do... as well as it should have.
Everybody just said it looks like Transformers. That's what they did. American audiences said that it's just like that just looks like a stupid robot movie.
It's better than whatever.
Of course it is.
But even there, like that only has one movie to its credit. Like you'd have to see them kind of evolve that movie like to 2, which isn't going to happen because of budgets. But you'd have to see a 2 and 3 before you can kind of say like what could they do.
I don't disagree with that, and like probably they should be left alone. I don't also they don't feel like they're in the same universe. I actually think that Godzilla and King Kong do feel like they're in the same universe to me.
King Kong's just a big monkey. I don't really care.
They're both just huge Lovecraftian god monsters. I think they very much fit in the same thing.
See, but Godzilla's like this weird reptilian thing, and Pacific Rim has the kaiju and the robots. King Kong's a monkey.
He's a giant ape.
Giant monkey. Like he's an ape. Like he doesn't. It's not like a new thing.
Neither is Godzilla.
But well, no. Godzilla's not a real like.
Oh, you mean like you're just not excited by the idea of a monkey?
Like when you watch them, it's giant ants.
Yeah.
But whatever, it's okay. That's like that, where it's just a thing but bigger. Whereas Godzilla and kaiju are new things.
Oh, I guess I disagree. But that's just a personal. That's just
kind of like
preference.
Why psychological horror movies are like the whole scare, rinse, repeat. Like it's been done so to death now.
Yeah,
it's not scary anymore. I mean, it's scary, but it's not scary because it's scary. It's scary because it's like, dude, it's the same thing. You can just make everything dark and go boo.
Yeah.
You're not actually changing the way I think about stuff. Paranormal Activity was a shift.
Yeah.
King Kong's just a big ape. I go to the zoo and watch apes. I like the zoo.
Yeah. I like giant monsters in whatever form they take. So if they want to do that, then that's fine with me.
He's not a monster. He's an ape.
He's a monster. He's a fucking monster.
He doesn't breathe electricity, fire, and like.
Come on, like Bigfoot's a monster. That's like a monkey.
That's be cool.
It's a monster.
It's just weird because one's gonna be like, "Hi, I have special powers," and "Hi, I'm a big robot that has special powers." Like, I'm a monkey.
King Kong can like climb a building. Godzilla can't do that.
I smash you with my fist. Like, yeah, I mean, come on.
That's such a nerdy thing to say. Well, Godzilla's got ranged attacks, and King Kong fling his poo at him all the way over on the other side of the thing.
I don't know.
Light it on fire first.
I don't know.
I'm down for the cause. I'm down for it. So, was that it? Those are our questions?
Those are our questions for this week.
Okay, I think we pretty adequately answered those questions.
And we'll be doing, at the very end, we're like, hey, we'll be doing these podcasts, Alphacast, whenever we feel like. There's no schedule. So send in your questions. We feel like 3 weeks from now we'll do another one. There's no like, hey, send them in by next week. Up. Yeah, we'll just take it as we go. Anything else you want to?
Nope, that's it for me.
Before we go. So yeah, look forward. AVP, and then a book on AVP, and then we'll be done with alien shit for a while. And if you ask questions in the Alphacast about Alien, we'll probably answer it, but don't expect.
No more. You get 3 more Alien questions. That's it.
Guess we'll see you later.
All right. Good night, everybody.
I feel like there's something we're forgetting.
Not good night, everybody.
Okay, that'll do it for me. That'll do it for you. We're gonna end this Alphacast. We're gonna go. Well, I'm gonna go to bed and go to work tomorrow. You're still going to the gym?
We'll see.
It's 11:45 at night. Are you really?
Yeah, if I go right now, there's not going to be like a lot of people there, and that'll be nice. I can watch an episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm and then continue listening to The Killer Inside Me on Book on Tape.
Well, you don't want to watch the Terminator TV show while you run on the treadmill?
No. I need something to hold my attention more. Oh.
Well, it's a serious show. It's a good show. I like Terminator, Sarah Connor Chronicles. It was pretty good. How do you go to the... I mean, what time do you...
I don't go to the gym at all right now. That's why I really need to try to get back in there. I was going early in the morning, but my whole work schedule's changed and stuff like that now. I don't know I don't know what my routine is.
Like, you have way more time in the morning now.
I do. I should probably go in the morning.
Why don't you just go right when you get off of work?
Because that's when it's busiest.
Oh.
And there's nothing lamer than like standing around waiting for a machine. It's fucking stupid.
I can't believe like this. I mean, people do that late at night. I don't know. I work out in my office.
I used to go when I was still working. When I was still commuting for work, I got up at like 6 or 6:30, got to the gym by 7 or 7:30, worked out for an hour, got back home by like 9, and then like got ready, showered and stuff like that, and went to work.
Oh, I'd fall asleep. What do you do? What do you do when you work out? It's curious.
I was doing like 30 minutes of like cardio or whatever to get like warmed up, and then one day is arms and another day is legs. It's not very complicated.
You do weights?
Yeah.
I just sorry, I'm just laughing at the idea of you doing weights. But
no, I don't go like do my fucking Johns or whatever like with the other guys, like the free weights and stuff. I do the machines like the scrawny little white guy that I am.
Yeah, the idea of you exercising.
I don't want to exercise. I don't want to.
I don't know. You're just so feminine, I guess. And it's like, to me, you're ambidextrous. You're asexual. You're not male or female. You're just like a Ken doll without the genitalia.
No, I like steaks and I drink bourbon.
That doesn't.
I should be drinking milkshakes and eating cheeseburgers.
Cheeseburgers? I don't eat cheeseburgers.
That was always the joke, wasn't
it? You can order a cheeseburger. I don't remember what it was. It was yeah, I remember the milkshake thing. We went out to the Harbor House that one time and it was like, give me a milkshake.
Well, no, because I ordered a beer and you're like, oh, why are you getting a beer? Why don't you get a milkshake like a real man?
If you're going out, treat yourself.
Treat yourself.
You can have a beer anywhere. Can't have a milkshake anywhere.
You actually can't have a beer anywhere.
I mean, it's like,
I would love it if you could have a beer anywhere.
You can go home and have a beer, and there's no milkshake at my house.
I drink a beer outside in the public this weekend.
What? How? What?
Like in a brown bag.
Where were you?
Like a homeless person? Huh?
Where were you?
In Torrance or in San Pedro.
You mean like outside of a restaurant?
No, at a park.
Wait, what time of day was it?
In the middle of the day.
Why were you at a park in San Pedro?
So we went and got sandwiches at that sandwich shop.
Yeah, that you waited 40 minutes for a sandwich.
We waited 40 minutes for a sandwich. It was the best. It was a really damn good sandwich. Busy Bees in San Pedro. Good ass sandwich. Long wait though. And then we went to a nearby park and ate our sandwiches and drank a beer.
Where'd the beer come from?
You buy it there it's a deli mart. It's like a sandwich shop. So
yeah.
you go up, you order your sandwich, and then they have big freezers full of like sodas and beer, all kinds of beer.
How far away is this park from the place that you ate?
I don't know, like right down the street.
Okay, 'cause would there be other people there?
Because there's not the actual place. There's nowhere to sit. There's like nothing.
So was there a lot of people down there that were just drinking beers with their sandwiches?
No, we were the only ones. we were at if anybody's in the area, we're at the place where they have the Friendship Bell. It's like a San Pedro landmark. It's like right on the coast. It's like a giant Asian temple with like a big bell on the inside of it, and the people under the stairs sing about it.
In the movie, The People Under the Stairs?
No, there's a rap group, the People Under the Stairs.
I was thinking like the movie with Fool.
Like Bay Area rappers, but they're actually from San Pedro, so they sing the song where they tell everybody they're from San Pedro.
How are they Bay Area rappers?
Because they got big in the Bay Area, but they're from San Pedro.
Okay, we're talking Bay.
But everybody thinks that they grew up in like Oakland, right? Okay. But they actually grew up in San Pedro, so they like wanted to shout out for San Pedro in the song. They mentioned the bell.
Okay,
and also The People Under the Stairs is a really good movie.
I was like, what? Well, they can't sing because they have their tongues cut off.
Which it looks like they remade it and they called it Don't Look Now.
Wait, what?
You know, the one with the blind guy.
You mean Don't Breathe?
Don't Breathe. Yeah, sorry.
Oh, I have not seen that yet. I want to. So
but it just looks like people under the stairs.
I could see that, I guess.
But no black people, even though it takes place in Detroit.
Oh, whatever.
Yeah.
Speaking of, oh man, you made me forget what I was going to ask you.
We forgot to end the podcast.
No, we didn't. I was intrigued by you drinking beer in a park in the middle of the day. Oh man, you just reminded me that speaking of just hanging out in a park, when we were going to go to Portland or go to Oregon this summer, which I couldn't because of my surgery, led me to like not be able to travel for a while. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. We were going to stay in Portland, and I was jokingly like, I want to stay outside the city. Like I want to in city and then out the city. I want to kind of like, I want nature, but I also want to do some like, you told me about strip clubs where there's no underwear.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And someone living
in Portland.
Yes. Living here.
That doesn't happen.
I don't think that happens.
Well,
right?
They got full nude here in LA.
I guess. But you told me some stuff that you saw. And
there's some crazy shit that I ain't seen here in LA, yes.
And I told my wife about it. She's like, I want to go. I want to see how bad this is.
Yeah.
Which also gave us an idea to open up a business, but that's not a story for another time. So I was like, okay, well, hotels are expensive, and I don't really want to, like, walking distance from it's just complicated because it's just like there's shit everywhere, and the hotels were way too fucking expensive, or they were like really far away, or they're loud, or whatever. And I found one. We started doing Airbnb and stuff, like maybe it's like a bit apartment somewhere, I don't know. And Charlie's Deli in Portland is like right on the cusp of Chinatown because you mentioned the Bell or the China something or other.
Yeah.
It's right like you can see the fucking entrance to Chinatown up there, whatever. Charlie's Deli is like a sandwich shop, whatever. They have a space above the deli that they Airbnb. Now, I don't know where the bathroom is. That's the one problem I had was like they show a picture of it's like a little room with like a pull out and like a little couch with a futon and refrigerator and a sink. But I'm like, where's the toilet? Like, are you sharing it with like employees of the restaurant? I don't know. Restaurant, the deli. You get $10 a day per person for food at the deli. So not only do you stay at this place, you get a free sandwich or something every day, which is pretty awesome. It's walking distance to everywhere. And it's literally above a fucking deli. And I first saw it and went, I'm 32 now. Maybe when you're like, that's for like 19, 20-year-olds that are like want to travel and, save money and they're just like being hippies or whatever. And I laughed and was like, oh my God, that's just so ghetto. Like it's a room above a deli without even a bathroom in the same area. I think it's like shared somewhere else. So I kind of look at it some more and I tell my wife about it. She's like, should we do that? And I'm like, I think we should. Like, I don't know why I started off with like, this is so stupid. Why would anyone do this till like, I totally want to do this.
It's an adventure.
Right? I don't want to adventure anymore. I'm too old for adventures.
Yeah, no more adventures.
But I guess that's what, we did the adventures, right? Yeah. I just remember looking at it going like, I totally want to do that now. Don't know why. I guess it's walking distance everywhere I wanted to go. Like I looked at the map and was like, oh, I can get to the arcade that I want to go to, the donut shop that I want to go to, and Chinatown. It's the only three things I care about in Portland.
Yeah.
I just thought it was really funny that the idea that it's not a room. It's literally like, hey, we got a closet in the side of a restaurant. You want to sleep in it tonight? We'll give you some free food for the morning. Yeah.
That's all you need.
Yeah. I guess that's right. It's all you need. So do that for 2 nights and then go stay out near the coast somewhere where it's like really awesome and beautiful. Also, the people who own the Goonies house, fuck them because they live there and they are surprised that it's constantly busy and people are going there and leaving trash and taking pictures. So they put up a big blue tarp on the side of the house. So people, and they like have signs like you'll get arrested and everything if you come up here. Look if I want to go see the Goonies house in Astoria, I'm not going to go up to the fucking house if I know someone lives there. But I'm going to drive by the street. I'm going to take pictures. I'm going to look. I'm taking a picture of myself. Hey, I'm in the house, But they like blocked off that whole area because it's just too much foot traffic and people are just leaving trash. And I don't do that, but that sucks. Why would you buy the Goonies house? You would know better. Like you don't buy Back to the Future house or something like that. But you don't buy some fucking movie landmark and then get all like, oh, people are coming to my house taking pictures all day. Why would you fucking move there?
Yeah, also they probably spent a lot more money on it than they would have because it's the house from the Goonies, right? That probably drove up the value, or do you think it would drive down the value because you get sick and tired of all these tourists?
I think it probably must have drove it down. I think it was a museum at one point. Or like people who lived there before used to let people in, like they'd come and they'd charge money and like, hey, you can come around. Like, hey, why not? Like we help pay the rent, right? Just like charge some money, let people come in. But yeah, I don't know. So now if I ever go to Oregon and I'm not gonna be able to like go see the Goonies house, bummer.
Aww.
I want to buy that house. I gotta go live there and then invite everybody.
And then turn it into an Airbnb.
Yeah. You can stay at the Goonies house. That'd be pretty cool. Anyways.
There's another business venture.
One of many.
Just go hide a treasure map somewhere in the house.
Why hide it? Just leave it out. Like
leave it out. Yeah.
Oops. Like under the bed, but like the corner, like
yeah,
tucked or sticked out. God, I want to do treasure stuff. Okay, I think that'll do it then. So
that was a nice little epilogue.
So that'll do it for Alphacast episode number 7. We'll be back in fuck, I don't know, because we're going to do a side podcast, and we're not going to really be doing this for a while, I don't think. So, till next time.
Till next time.
Send your questions in alphacast@alpharookie.com. Emails. Good night.
Good night.